What's up everyone on the internet? Thank you for making this video party. I'm so excited to upload this one for you guys because for this video we're going to be taking a look at a long-awaited film that took me forever to get to because I wasn't ready to say goodbye to my childhood anime, and that would be Digimon Last Evolution. Okay, before we go any further, let me tell you that as a kid growing up in the late 90s and early 2000s, my two favorite cartoons were Yu-Gi-Oh! And Digimon. And during that time, I loved the idea of watching kids travel to a whole new world where they are immediately bonded with little monsters that become their best friends. Wait a minute, was Digimon the original isekai anime? Fast forward to earlier this year, I made a video where I talked about Digimon Tri, which is meant to be the sequel to the original series. And after watching those movies, I knew that the story wasn't yet finished, as there was one more film that I had to watch, which was released in 2020 called Digimon Last Evolution. So the movie takes place sometime after the events of Digimon Tri, where our Digidestined are now adults and are moving on with their lives. However, Tai and Matt are the only ones that are still stuck in place as they don't know what to do with their lives. Unfortunately, because it's a Digimon movie, a new Digimon arrives and is now targeting Digidestined around the world. So it's up to our characters to stop this new bad guy and save everyone. That is, until we find out that our main characters have to say goodbye to their Digimon. What I mean by that is that the reason why Digimon are paired with kids in the first place is that they can help those kids grow and reach their full potential. When a child reaches their full potential, whether they are teenagers or whether they're adults, their Digimon just fades away. And this is an inevitable fact that by the end of this film, we're gonna have to say goodbye to our Digimon that we have grown up watching since we were kids. And throughout the film, we are watching this ticking clock as everyone copes with the fact that they're running out of time with their best friends. Oh yeah, when they use their Digimon in a fight, the time speeds up. So it's pretty much a lose-lose situation for our characters and us as well. While I was watching the movie, I was constantly checking my phone to see how much time did I have before I had to see the dreadful goodbye. But anyway, the movie mainly focuses on Tai and Matt as they have been the key characters throughout the entire franchise. And what I also like about the movie is that it also involves several characters from Digimon Adventure 2. But while those characters have a small role in this movie, the entire story is mainly centered around Tai, Matt, Agumon, and Gabumon. So if you're a long-time Digimon fan who likes some of the other characters like Kari, TK, Izzy, Mimi, Joe, Sora, and their Digimon, I should let you know that those characters have very little screen time. Especially Sora, which caught me by surprise given her story arc in Digimon Tri between her and Biyomon. But then again, since this is meant to be the final chapter of the original series and that we only have an hour and a half, some things have to go in order to properly tell one last story. And one of the things that I love about this film is the theme of growing up. When we're kids, we hang out with our friends quite often, but as we get older, we soon become busy with our own lives that we forget to keep in touch with them, and suddenly the friendship just fades away. Honestly, this film made me realize just how little time we have on this earth and that we need to treasure every moment we have with one another. Okay, I'm going to be sending some emails, texts, and messages right now to some of my close friends just to see how they're doing. But anyway, one of the other reasons why I like this film is how there are several Easter eggs throughout the entire film in terms of Digimon characters that we've seen in previous installments throughout the entire franchise. For example, we get a glimpse of Miku, who was the central character of Digimon Tri, and we also get a quick look at one of the other Digidestined who was a central character of the first Digimon movie. Now, even though I loved the movie, there are still a couple of things where I just couldn't help but nitpick. Like, for example, I'm really glad that we got some of the original voice actors to play the characters one last time, but there were other characters that had different voice actors. This is just me talking as a lifelong Digimon fan who grew up watching this in the late 90s. I'm pretty sure for those of you who are just getting into Digimon right now, you're probably not going to notice a thing. But if I had an actual problem with the film, it may be the reveal of the true villain behind all this. If you watch Digimon Tri, you'll notice a pattern of internal struggle that some of the new characters face in these films, which often leads to the reveal of the big bad guy. I won't say anymore, I just wish the villain would have been handled a little better, as it sort of feels like a repeat of Digimon Tri. With that being said, let's talk about the ending, which I'm sure that is what most of you want to know about. As I've stated multiple times throughout this video, I grew up watching Digimon, so watching this movie meant that I was gonna have to say goodbye to these characters. And since it is clearly stated at the beginning of the film, we all knew that we were gonna have to part ways with our Digimon. With that being said, watching the final moments of the film, I did get a little emotional when I saw the final goodbye. I mean, I wasn't bawling my eyes out like I did with Makia, but I did get a little teary-eyed, and I also found myself catching my breath. And honestly, I was mentally preparing myself for the worst. I mean, I was expecting a sort of Makia ending where if the director really wanted to make us cry, there would have been a sequence at the end of the film that showed memories of our characters with their Digimon by using scenes from the movies and the anime. If that had happened, I would have been a total wreck. But anyway, I really enjoy this film as it serves as a great way to end the original series that fans grew up watching. With that being said, if you do watch this film, stick around and watch the credits. If you watch the rolling credits, the movie does pull up several images of where the Digidestined are at, and if you remember the finale of Digimon Adventure 2, you'll see that Digimon Last Evolution does not retcon anything. According to the timeline in Digimon Adventure 2's finale, you see how everyone is all grown up and have kids who also have Digimon. And in that finale, it explains where the original characters are at with their Digimon. Like Matt and Gabumon are the first Digidestined astronauts to go to Mars, while Tai and Agumon are ambassadors for the digital world at the United Nations. So if you watch the credits for Digimon Last Evolution, you'll see how Digimon Adventure 2's finale is still canon. So at some point, they're going to be reunited with their Digimon. However, I highly doubt we're going to see the reunion of those characters because after this movie was released in February 2020, a month later, the reboot began. So I guess this really is the end in terms of closing the book of the original series. And as a longtime fan, I was overall satisfied seeing the final chapter to an anime that I grew up watching. And with this new reboot, I can honestly say that it does the original series justice, and I cannot wait to see how kids respond to this show that I hold close to my heart. Well, that's gonna do it for this video, guys. That was my overall review for Digimon Last Evolution. If you like what you saw, click the subscribe button so you can get the latest updates from this channel. I'll see you all next time with a brand new video. Bye-bye.